Hi, you guys. Ginger Cook. It's Acrylic Painting Monday, and today we're going to talk about how to paint loose and give the effect of a palette knife without really even having to use one. I mean, you can use it, but I'm going to show you how to use a brush the same way you might use a palette knife. And everybody says, I want to paint loose, I want to paint loose, and sometimes painting loose means just fewer brush strokes, all right? Just put the brush down and pick up the brush and do it again, dry in between so you're not, making your colors muddy. And in this video of this early snow scene, okay, where it's still fall, but it's snowed, and it's what do we call the golden hour paintings. We've got this beautiful sunrise, I think, and I think you're going to find that this painting will surprise you. It took me about an hour to do it. It's very easy, though it looks complicated. It isn't. So stay with us. And John, I think people are going to be so surprised how fun this one is.
Oh, absolutely. It's a shocker. All right, let's scoot on down and let's get started.
Hi, you guys. Okay, what we're going to start with right now is our underpainting. And I've just sketched out the drawing that I'm going to be using for on this purple canvas. And I would show you a printout, but our printer broke, so there you go.
Yeah, so, add it to the list.
Add the list of stuff we got to replace, but that's all right.
Let's scoot on down and take a look at what we got.
Let's see what I got. I've got this 9x12 canvas. I've got this purple background. I've got some fun colors. I'm using my Stay Wet palette from another tutorial, but the colors are perfectly good. I've got like...
Whoa. Put it into the square, please. Yeah. A nice little frame for you.
I've got Payne's Gray, titanium white, yellow oxide, cad yellow medium. Probably need to add a little more of that. Cad yellow light, cadmium orange, cadmium red medium, that's cadmium red light. This is like a burgundy color.
That's that crimson, isn't
it? That crimson color. It's crimson, quadrichrome crimson from Holbein. But you can use if you don't have that, you can use just magenta and ultramarine blue. So here's ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, burnt sienna, and I think I had a little something there, and whatever it is, it's gone. Okay, so, but those are the colors that we're going to use. And like all landscapes, you just start from the back and work your way forward, all right? So we'll just take one of these brushes, like this, a fairly large brush, like here, and I'm going to just take some yellow oxide and just come up on here like this. Maybe some white too. Yellow oxide and white. It could be yellow ochre. Same idea. Okay, yellow ochre and white. Let's just come over here like that. Paints very nicely over this purple. See that? Let's put a little bit more white with this as we go back this way. Now let's see. I should have a paper towel out.
Yeah, you've got new paper towels there.
John gave me some new paper towels finally. So I'm going to wipe the brush off like that and then just take this color.
Finally.
And
you act like I'm a meanie to you.
Kind of bring it in over here like that, right? Yep, that's pretty easy, yeah. So now this could be dried, which is fine. And which we can just let that happen for a minute, just let that dry. Let's just put the underpainting in for the rest of our stuff. And so I think I'll change brushes and get something a little bit smaller for the houses and stuff. So let's say we've got a ultramarine blue house right here, back here like this. We're going to say that's our underpainting like this. You want that roof to overhang a little bit, okay? So you want that, kind of a nice big slant, and the roof to overhang, okay? And I'll just take a little bit of white and put that right there like this. And then I'll come over here and do that on this roof, like that. There you go. And then a little bit of white and phthalo blue for this other roof. Ooh, let's do that too. It's kind of strong. Let's put a little bit more white on it. There you go. Probably got to tone that down a bit. maybe a little bit of ultramarine blue with this, and say there's a roof right here. Okay. All right. And let's just do something kind of dark here. And I'm going to just come under here with my ultramarine blue. And just in this part of my painting, I'm just going to paint that dark blue right in there like that. Okay, and then maybe even in here, some blue and a little bit of the purple color. I'm going to come right down here, say something a little bit darker right here. Okay. Let's put something darker back here like that. There you go. So then I'm going to take phthalo blue and white, mostly white with some phthalo blue. I'm going to take this area right here. Let's put a tiny bit of brown with it. Not much. Probably not that much. And let's just take, like I say, phthalo blue and white.
This looks like this could be a fast painting.
Well, I think it may be, John. We're going to take the phthalo blue and white like that and paint that in here like that. This is the color I want there. Okay. Let's say a little bit of white and ultramarine blue too. Let's mix that. Let's see. Let's just do some of that right there. Okay. Now on this little pile of snow right here, this underpainting on this snow, we're going to say is we're going to do that a light ultramarine blue right in here. Ultramarine blue and white. Okay. And as we move down a little closer to here, we're going to add some of this purple color like that. And do another coat of this purple like that. Okay. All right, so we're just putting in a little bit of the background. I could do a little bit of burnt sienna and orange for this cabin right here. And I could do a little bit of this blue and white, kind of maybe a little bit of brown color, kind of a grayed roof here. That again, this is the first layer of paint. Okay. And I'll put a little bit of blue behind here like this. Uh, okay, so we're saying that's the end of that cabin.
Hey, we'd like to thank the moderator for being here before it gets too far into the show, because we always
Okay.
seem to forget.
Yeah, so we're not gonna see this cabin, so we're gonna take a little bit of this ultramarine blue like this and come on up here, and a little bit of purple color up here like that. Let's take a little bit of white and purple. So we got something kind of dark up here. Maybe a little bit of ultramarine blue. That's phthalo, I guess. Something right up in this area. We know it's all dark, okay? Kind of X's like this. Now we'll stop before we get too far over. So that's a fairly good underpainting, I think.
That's a great bunch of huggy layers.
Yeah, because we need a layer underneath a layer like this. So we're going to say that that's our huggy layer. Now, by this time, this should be dry. Okay. So what we need is the cad yellow light, which I think I have right here. I can get any out. I think it's about the end of this. Well, I have another one, don't I? I go through this color a lot. this cad yellow light color. There we go. So what I want to do is take a clean brush. If I have blue on it, I'd have to wash that a lot to not have that turn green. So I'm going to get a brand clean brush and white paint, a little of that color, and come up here like this. And let's just start by saying I've got something light here like this. Then a little yellow oxide and cad yellow medium. And just fuzz out the edge. Tiny bit of cadmium orange and cad yellow light. Just a touch of orange up here. Wipe off the paint. Add some more white. Make sure that you're staying in the clean white, not the blue white, or it'll all go south on you. Keeping your brushes clean is one of the tricks, and keeping your paint clean. A little bit of light yellow up in here. Just smudge that out. Okay, so that's about all I want to do with this. If you do this, then make sure that you've got, you just have a smudged light area where the sky is and the sun is bright, okay? Now I'm going to dry that because I want to do other layers and I don't want to get it muddy, okay?
Makes sense.
All right, so one of the things I might want to have is zinc white. And that's because it's a translucent color. And and white tends to be more opaque. All right, so we're gonna clean the brush. And I want to say that there's a little bit of a haze up here like this. Let's take a little bit of purple with it. Just use your finger and just sort of smudge it like that. Just the top layer like that. That's the sort of the, okay, that's our haze area. And I see where we don't have magenta. How could we even have a painting without magenta? We always have magenta, John.
You always have magenta.
So, guess I'll put that right there.
What's a painting without magenta?
All
It's
right.
not a painting.
So, I want to say that there might be a touch of, let's see, do we have a mixing palette? This is one of the things, sometimes if you mix in that palette, you're going to get, you don't have any room to do that. And put a little bit of this magenta color right here. Just more zinc white. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make a purple using ultramarine blue and magenta and titanium white. Mostly magenta. It's going to be 3/4 magenta, 1/4 purple. See that? Even more magenta than that. There you go. And I'm going to say that I've got a purple mountain coming down here like this. And as we get toward the bottom, I'm going to add some zinc white to that and a little more magenta. I'm just going to pull these colors in here like that. All right. And then I'm going to take some zinc white come up here from the bottom and suggest that this a little bit lighter up in here like that. So you could dry this, but I think I can get that effect of this. So let's try titanium. I need that sort of lighter effect like this. So you can kind of do something like that. This is almost like finger painting today. Huh. Okay. All right. Now, I want, that's drawing a little darker than I want, so I'm going to take some zinc white even on this and just lighten that hill, that mountain, just a little bit more than I have. You can remember, you can mix colors on the canvas. Now let's take some white and blue, kind of a turquoise blue color, and it's like 99% white, hardly any of that blue. Wipe off the brush. And I'm going to say that back in here, we're just going to suggest that there might be some sort of blue hill back here like that. Just too blue.
Don't forget that favorite paintbrush, your
Yeah,
fingers.
your fingers. Let's put the mountain back. All right, so this is still darker than I want, but that's all right. We can make that work. All right, so I've got that color. I'm going to rinse that off really well because I had blue on it. And go back up into this light yellow color I had. And come over here like this. Put some titanium white with that. A little bit of orange like that. So we got to keep just, got to keep it real here like that. Let's just do something like that. Okay. Just a little bit of orange. I'm going to just do a little bit of, just a tiniest bit of cat orange light. And rinse the brush. Because this background, this whole painting works because this background is so soft. So if you get nuts or you don't keep your brush clean or that kind of stuff and you make it too dark, then you wonder why you won't get that effect, right? So there you go. You want this whole background very light. Okay. So we're going to dry that, and I'm going to lighten up this hill one more time, okay? But before I do that, I want to do this. All right. All right. So now we're going to just really rinse the brush. And I'm going to take some zinc white up here. Tiny bit of magenta. I barely see it, right? And I want to come over this mountain like this with some X strokes. All right, that works a little bit better for me then. Um, I still would like to shape this mountain right better right here. have this come up a little more, this hill. All right, so you just really want to have this a little bit of orange in the corners, but not too much, okay? Just, there you go. There's this nice kind of glow. We've got a really good glow going here. We don't want to lose that. That's really pretty. Okay, so now we can take the ultramarine blue and magenta. Okay, and a little bit of white paint. And I want this bluer, so let's try some phthalo blue in it. There you go. Perfect. So now I'm going to say I've got some trees here. Want a little bit more phthalo blue in there than I had with this color mixture. There we go. Using your angle brush, you can create some sort of skinny trees. Don't make a fence, because I know a lot of people do that. They'll just get a little zinc white now. They'll go ahead and paint something like this, and they'll just make like a picket fence, and we don't want to do that. All right, so we got some trees there. I'm going to go ahead and take the white and do I always ask myself, where can I do this color? I'm going to just say I want a white roof right here. I'm going to have a white roof right here. Kind of lighter. Let's put a little yellow with that, make a robin's egg blue color. Tiny little cad yellow light makes a really, and phthalo blue and white makes it kind of a really pretty kind of green color. There, that's nice. Okay, so now we still have to suggest that there's some woods back here. So we just come up here like that behind our cabin. And behind the roof here like that. And then maybe we've got kind of one tall tree up here like this. Just a couple of, we're just going to suggest there's a couple of those kind of trees, right? And just something over here, but we don't know what. All right. Okay. There. Let's take a little bit of that phthalo blue here and put it in here like that. Okay. Now, I'll just take some white paint while brush is still dirty. Go over this roof right now with white. I just was seeing if I could do that before it dried. It's probably not quite the color I want. What I'm going to do, bring this edge down here like that, and say the inside of this, let's just do a little bit of yellow oxide here like that on the inside of this cabin. And the same thing here. Let's bring this cabin down. A little bit of orange right here. Oops, too much. Okay. And I'm going to say that behind this cabin, there are some orange plants. Okay. And I don't have to say that much about it, but just saying that that's what it is. And when that dries, I'll make that roof white. Okay. So that's kind of how we're layering this. All right. So I want to come in here with the purple again and just sharpen this. This is where I want the roof. So you can, sometimes what you can do is you can kind of crisp up a line, you know, by just doing something like that. Just crisp it up because I want that to be quite a slope slanted on here like that. There we go. So, all right. So now I've got some white paint and I'm going to come in here like this and just using the flat of my brush, I'll go right into white. And I'll let some of this blue show underneath, right? So, right up into this little creek area here. Okay, now I'm just going to wipe that off. This is just, I want white paint here, so it can't, no water, can't have water on the brush once you've rinsed it off, right? Okay. So we're going to say right along here like this, we're going to say that's our, kind of our creek area, okay? Now, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but this is really just, you're giving the minimum amount of information to create this, all right? So you're not doing a lot of detail. We know that, for instance, there's got to be something dark between these bushes and that, but I probably have to, let's just take a minute and dry everything, okay?
Good idea. It's almost a painting like it is.
It is, isn't it? So I want something a little dark right here next to the bottom of this, these, and then I I want to bring those orange, cad yellow medium and the cad orange. I want to, that makes kind of a nice bright orange. The yellow, cad yellow medium and the cadmium orange. I want something bright right here next to the house, you know, right up here, these bushes. Okay. We'll put a little something right there. Okay. Now, this is where it gets kind of fun, and maybe it was fun before, but all right, so I'm going to take yellow oxide, clean brush, and a little bit of and cad yellow medium and a little bit of the orange color, right? And I'm going to make it, let's take some other yellow. It's going to make a very nice, bright orange yellow. Let's see, I think I have to put more yellow out. Because this painting, it takes the least amount. Don't overpaint this. You don't want to do that. Looking for cad yellow medium. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just wipe that off the brush and add some more yellow to it. There we go. And I'm going to come up here with this large brush with me. I'm going to come here like this. And I'm using vertical strokes, a little bit more orange in it. Okay, just about like that. And I'm going to wipe the brush off. Get some zinc white, same color. And I'm going to let some of this blue show through. And then I want something a little stronger right there. Okay. And then here's a little bit of burnt sienna like this, and just some strokes down like that. A little yellow oxide. Tiny bit of, let's make a green color, kind of a moss green color. Let's say there's just a little bit of a moss green color like that coming down here like this. Now we're going to go into the Payne's Gray and come this way with that, okay? I've wiped the brush and just add a little of this dark color in here too, like that. See how we did that? I'm going to come up here like this and then switch to blue. Make sure we have this blue here like this, okay? Now I've got some Payne's Gray, which is ultramarine blue, and I want to come up right about like this. And ultramarine blue and black makes Payne's Gray. And I'm just gonna doop. Just no brush strokes. You just want to be so careful with this. You do a few and then just stop, right? Now we're gonna come up here with the magenta and the ultramarine blue. We're gonna come up here like this. We're gonna say that there's some trees up here, kind of some X pattern like that. And then we're gonna say that there's a tree up here like that, and just using your angle brush, you're gonna suggest there's this tree. All right, now there really is more trees than that, but you're just not gonna see them because whenever I want to mix a color, I'll just come over here and do it sort of a blue here, and I'm just gonna kind of hide this house right here, and you're barely gonna see this one. Okay. Now, what happens here is interesting because we have to dry it to finish it, okay? But I think, does this tree crooked? It's not, is it?
Looks like it's going pretty well. It might be leaning a little bit to the
Yeah, I
right.
think it's okay, right? But, you know. All right, let's dry this, and then I'll show you how we're going to finish it. All right, we're going to start with a little of the orange color. Well, as long as I've got it on the brush, I'll come back over here like this and fill this in a bit more. Okay, like that. As long as I'm doing that, let me just rinse the brush off. In this case, this is stronger than the sky. You don't want your sky as bright as orange as you have this, all right? Now, we're going to take some white, titanium white, okay? And we're going to just make these brush strokes like that, just with your, okay? Maybe take a little bit of the blue that we've done, a little bit of that light blue color. A little bit of purple. Take some of that. Okay, and some white. Let's get that light purple color here. The magenta purple. That's ultramarine blue and magenta. You know, maybe a little bit deeper purple in here. Now, if you get the wrong color on the brush, don't rinse it, just wipe it off. Okay. All right.
You're going for like a palette knife effect with a big brush.
Just with a big brush. Palette knife effect, but with a big brush. Okay.
Something a little different for you folks. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now, I mean, it's fun because you've got to dry it in between these because you start adding yellows to the blues, you'll have green snow. You don't want that. So I'm going to get a clean brush again because we don't have time to wash all these, and I'm going to get some new titanium white and just put it on the mixing palette here. Let's get a new sheet. It just dropped the brush.
Can you get it?
Yeah, I got it. Got my great picker-upper things. See?
Gotta have those babies, I'm telling you.
That's just... All right, so I'm going to take some white paint, and I want a little tiny bit of burnt sienna on part of it. Okay, like that. Again, going to start wiping off the brush. Don't wipe in the same spot or you're just going to mix colors on the paper towel. Right? Okay.
Really a very unusual painting.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Now we're going to... I mean, it is, right?
Something a little different. Sure, it's a fun looking painting.
Yeah, because, I mean, it takes some of that cad yellow light, right? And white. And maybe a little yellow oxide and white. Just add that color. There you go. Sort of a kind of a warm white like that. We're going to come up here on this edge. Don't come down too far. Just a few deliberate strokes of white, and that's it. You can have a little bit darker snow in here, kind of over here like this, but we need that. See, that didn't cover well the first time, so we're doing it again. Okay. Whoops. Probably should have used a smaller brush on this.
Yeah. In some of those tighter areas.
Yeah, and I could have done that, but I didn't. So, all right, so we're on a little kind of light blue color here. Something even lighter than that here. All right. Now, see, where's my pinks? This is where the artist comes in.
The artistic license.
All right, now we're going to dry that and put the trees in. Okay? But I may go over this here like this. I had the Payne's Gray. I might do a little bit of some brown in there like this. Okay? And I might widen this area a little bit here. Like that. There. Okay. Wow, kind of neat, right? So let's try it. So we're going to take some Payne's Gray and come on up here like, let's see, I think the first one's got to be right, goes right about here through this house, right about, let's see, I know we've got part of this tree here. Let's just do this like that. We've got some trees doing this. All right, now one thing we know about trees, let's get some purple, is that they're Let's see, try some purple color here. So yeah, I just want a little purple, a little bit of a lighter purple here. Okay, so we're suggesting trees, but without ever having suggested them, and I got to dry that. Okay. Now I want some kind of that yellow-orange color. I'm going to come up here this way on my tree. Want it a little bit oranger. A little red with that. All right, so then what happens is we take some, kind of a broad brush here with some orange. We're going to come down. Oops, didn't get it then. And then take a little bit of purple. Payne's gray. If you got it too wide, skinny it up. Okay, don't get caught with
With fat trees.
well, you don't want it. You don't need. There's no need for that, right?
No need for that foolishness.
Right. Okay. So you've got these trees here. Okay. Now I want to dry those, and then I'm going to finish the snow and the details on the house, and we'll be done. How cool is that, right? Okay. So I want to say that these trees are behind the yellow white paint. I'm going to say these guys are here. They're behind this. Don't have enough paint out anymore. Isn't that interesting? It's all dried
How does
out.
that happen?
It just dries up when you're on one of these palette things. Okay. And I want that a little bit whiter than I got it. Okay. All right. Now, we lost that tree a little bit when we did that on the base. So I'm going to say, let's take a smaller brush. I don't know why I'm trying to fool around with this big one when I got smaller ones here. Got a little bit of, more a bit of purple. And then what I have to have around these trees, okay, is snow here. So for these to show up, I got to have some snow. Does that make sense? Wherever
It's that
there's a
whole
light,
light dark thing, isn't
that's
it?
it, that whole light and dark thing. So you can't, you can't, you can't fudge that, right?
No fudging.
Okay, so then I'm going to take this. See how instead of rinsing my brush, I just really scrub it off. I'm going to take a little bit of this purpley color, come down here like this next to my house and make sure that I've got that roof correct. Okay. It needs to be more at that angle, okay. Um, And then we've got a tiny bit of white right here next to it. Okay. And, all right. So let's see, what else do we got? Because we're not really putting, I guess you could, I guess it could be a little bit lighter, the back of this house. Got it pretty dark. Or something like that. Then the little windows will show, the little door will show up, some windows. All right, so now you've got, that one looks a little bit more, and then underneath, those are kind of a rule when you're painting houses, is that pretty much there's always like a dark line under the houses, like where the roof is, like a little shadow. Gosh, I didn't want that. It's all right. Sometimes when the details happen is when you really gotta just sort of pay a little bit more attention. So, just put a little of that roof out there. You don't really see it, but that was, I want something dark behind this house, like this, behind this roof. Okay. Sometimes you just want some crisp lines. And because this is all pretty loose, so that's when you want a few little crisp lines like that. And all right, so there's our trees. Now on this one, this is where we sort of have a tree here. So we've got some shadows in the snow where that is. This this tree here, we're just gonna cover up like that. All right, now I need some light, very light color, like that. Let's see. Well, see, that's why you need new white out all the time. Let's change brushes. Probably just need clean water is what I need, but I don't have any, so.
Would you like some?
Well, you know what? It's kind of almost late in the day for the clean water. I'm a tiny bit of yellow in that, kind of warm that up. A little bit more of the phthalo blue. There, see that color, that sort of robin's egg blue, and put a tiny bit of ultramarine with it. There, it's just kind of a baby blue. It's really a baby blue. That's the color I want. There you go.
It's a nice blue.
And it's just there. It's the only place I have it. It's just there, and it sort of needs to be whiter. Needs to be lighter than I got it. There we go. There. So then I can put the more purple blues next to it. Okay. Then we can take sort of this light blue here and say like there's a shadow going over here. So a little bit of purpley shadow going back in here like that.
So these are the kind of things you don't want to talk about, but you want to have something. Okay? And all right, so you can take the little brush and allow for some birds to fly through your trees.
Got to do that.
Let's see, a different brush because that one's dirty. It's got blue on it. See if I can get this one to work. A little bit of peach to that. There we go. Kind of a peach color, pink and white and blue, right? Let's see. Not too much, we're just doing. There you go. Can I put this color somewhere else, maybe? Let's see, what about here? Can I do something right here? Kind of a bright orange. Isn't this interesting? Don't you think? Just to me, this is such an interesting painting because of the way it's done.
I think it's kind of cool. Something different.
Well, it's not really. It's very figured. It's not really even abstract, but it's a very simplistic way to paint something. It's just minimalist, I guess, is what I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Uh, and I have some of this. Now, what we could do here, and I'll tell you what I want to do here. You're going, oh no, we're doing something else, right? I'm going to suggest that this is a log, okay?
What's a log?
This is a log rather than just a ditch. I'm going to say this is a log, all right?
Oh.
Okay? With me?
Okay.
I'm going to say that's a log. Okay, let me just. Let's try a small brush. Sometimes I try to do the same thing with the same brush, and that's silly when you've got all these brushes. And I want to say that this is coming up over the. This is coming up over this. Wow, how am I not getting the white paint? This is coming up over here like this. Okay. And that, I lost the light on that. There was some light color right there, and boy, did I lose it. So I'm going to put it back like that. And if I said if it was a log or it might be a ditch. You think it's a ditch, don't you?
I think it's a ditch.
All right, let's make it a ditch still, but still had to have that right there. Let's say that's a ditch. Let's put some, let's get some. Just a few little things. over it like that. Now, the trick with something like this is if you don't like it, make sure you've dried it really well so you can wipe it off. Okay. And this is a great example of how different blues make a big difference in your painting. Right? And how that makes a, there you go. So, should have used flow paint for this. So I don't want anything too perfect. I want to suggest that there's a house back there, but you barely see it. So it's not going to be that wide, but then you're going to have this tree in front of it.
Just a hint of it.
Yeah. So we just don't want to see that. Okay, you just want to suggest that the little house is back there without anybody. And I'm so out of colors, so I'm kind of running out of things, but just take that out like that. Okay, so that's kind of, this is what I was thinking painting this. Again, I don't want to do a whole lot more to it. Guess we could put in a, if you wanted to say somebody else lived here in this house, you could do it purple. But really, that's it. And let's see. So if I take my zinc white again, which I put away, okay. Now let's just really dry this and then we'll do the final touches with the zinc white. What do you think?
No, you just did 1 hour.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to take the zinc white like that and then really spread it out. Look what I do with that, because you guys, mostly you do it wrong. Okay, not to be mean, but look,
Man.
you take it and you spread it out like that, then you wipe it off your brush. That's the secret to using this color. And again, you wipe it off your brush. And that's how you suggest there's a mist going on like that, see? See how we push those, there's hardly any paint on the brush. That's how we push that whole hill back, and even some of these trees. Right? So that's what gives your painting depth. Put
Gives
that
you your
glow around the sun.
atmospheric perspective.
Yeah, and gives you that little glow around the sun. It kind of really needs to be that way when you come forward with color. When you're coming forward with your bright colors. And yes, this painting probably could be easily done with a palette knife. Let's see if
I think it's pretty good with a big brush, though.
But it works very well with the big brush. But I mean, absolutely, if you're talking about See, that's this palette knife, is it bent? I don't know. Put a little gold where the sun might be coming through like that on this one. Warm that roof up just a bit. So that's where, you know, a color like this makes a difference. You know, you can go back and do a few little brush strokes like that with this, but I think I'll just use the brush to say that there's another shadow here, like on this. Just so interesting to, well, a little purple in it. You wouldn't think that'd be that hard to get, would you?
I wouldn't think so.
No. Okay. So I'd say I'll just pretty much stop it here, John. There's always something else you can do, but
Well, I'd like to have like to thank everybody for joining us this evening. Those of you that made donations in our scholarship fund, we greatly appreciate that.
yes.
It does help a lot of people nowadays, helps us keep us going as well. We'll be back next week with another exciting episode of Painting with the Queen of Color.
Yeah, and I don't know why I can't get that roof light right there, and it's so crazy because I mean I've got all these, you know.
Is it too wet?
No, we dried it, but you know, for right now, I need this corner lighter, and it wasn't happening right on this roof. And if you're gonna have a light corner, it's got to be right there. The same here with this one. And then just put the tree back, right? There we go. Just all right. So I think, let's see if I can think of anything else I need to do. What I see was paintings. When you're looking at a painting like this, acrylics dry darker. So if I took the yellow and the cadmium orange and said I want something very bright right here, would I get it bright enough? Just in this one spot. Okay, there we go. Sometimes it's just you need that dash of color and you don't know why, but you need it. Okay, so let's just show this in a frame, John, so people can see how nice it looks.
Absolutely. Let me
But
grab that for you.
I I think it came out really nice. Could we play a little more with the lights and darks? Maybe, but you've got, for a simple painting, shouldn't take that long to do. I think it came out pretty nicely, don't you? Wow, isn't that just interesting? I mean, for a painting, just to me, this is so interesting.
And you always got to paint when I put a frame around it.
Yeah, I see things otherwise that I don't see, right?
Maybe you do the whole painting in a frame.
I could do that.
No, you couldn't.
John would just think I would ruining his little precious frames
My
here
little
that would
frame.
he wouldn't want that. But I'm just saying that I think we got it like that. I mean, I like that, and it's just different. It's a different way to paint something, and this is people say I want to paint loose. This is about as loose as you can get it. Okay. And you could have done some of this with a palette knife if you did it larger, but you can certainly do a big brush. And
I think it's pretty.
I do too. I think it came out really well. And wonder if I got it. Let's see, what do I have to sign that with?
I probably got a Posca pin somewhere.
Well, I do, John, but I was just wondering if I had a color, but I gave all the colored ones to Honey or Lunar. Somebody got them when they were here.
Oh.
Grandma was so nice and gave all the colored ones away. Because of course you would, right? I mean, they're looking at I never saw so many colors, Grandma. Hint, hint, hint. Those are really nice, Grandma.
Hint, hint, hint.
Uh,
Boy, they look nice. Hint, hint, hint.
Those really are awesome. Hint, hint, hint. Yes. So let's just do this.
Oh, I like it.
All right, surely you're inspired to subscribe to our channel. Yes and yes, because I know you would want to. Yes and yes.
Well, I'm sure and you hit that thumbs up, and you can share it with all your friends and
And
family.
let everybody know where you saw this tutorial and why you liked it so much. Because it's a different style of painting. We're going to do a few landscapes like this, not just one or two, so you get the hang of how you might do something like this. It's a little bit like, looking for this, when you're dividing, you're looking to simplify the problem rather than just try to do it in your head, And that's kind of what you're doing, is you're simplifying this this painting, and I think and I think we've done that. So hey, you guys, subscribe, give us a shout out. Let me see what you've painted on YouTube. Join our Facebook club, and if you want personal art coaching, remember, personal art coaching can really bring your art up a lot faster than just trying to figure it out on your own. And we still have room in the Academy to help you.
Thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, you guys. Ginger Cook. It's Acrylic Painting Monday, and today we're going to talk about how to paint loose and give the effect of a palette knife without really even having to use one. I mean, you can use it, but I'm going to show you how to use a brush the same way you might use a palette knife. And everybody says, I want to paint loose, I want to paint loose. And sometimes painting loose means just fewer brush strokes, all right? Just put the brush down and pick up the brush and do it again, dry in between so you're not, making your colors muddy. And in this video of this early snow scene, okay, where it's still fall, but it's snowed, and it's what do we call the golden hour paintings. We've got this beautiful sunrise, I think, and I think you're going to find that this painting will surprise you. It took me about an hour to do it. It's very easy, though it looks complicated. It isn't. So stay with us. And John, I think people are going to be so surprised how fun this one is to
Oh,
do.
absolutely. It's a shocker. All right, let's scoot on down and let's get started.